pretty gorgeous day out on the lake, if I do say so myself. I'm very excited about this. Recently, I had a company that reached out to me called Dehancer, and this is a company that I'm actually familiar with, and I've looked at their things a few different times. So editor me forgot to mention that Dehancer did reach out to me and is letting me test drive the product and provide a review, but they don't get any input on what I say and whether I like it, whether I don't like it. So there you go. Disclaimer done. This is a software that is designed to help you recreate the look and feel of film. Got a number of different film emulations similar to the way that Davinci Resolve does. So I'll kind of do a compare and contrast on how those look here and throughout the course of this video. They have got things like halation, which is sort of that color separation right around those really bright spots on bulbs where you get a little of those red hues. And it's also got bloom, which is meant to mimic kind of a black pro mist filter or one of those sorts of things. So I'm going to test both of those out and see, can I go without the filter? Because one of the things that is really unfortunate about having a pro mist filter on all the time is it looks great when it looks great, but when it doesn't, you can't ever remove that effect. So if I can get something similar by just doing it in post rather than putting it on the camera and have the flexibility of being able to do it clean, I'm gonna try that out. So let's see how this goes. So in addition to coming out here and doing some of these things in 10:30, 11 a.m. sun, where things are going to be bright, you can uncontrolled. I'll do some of this as well in the studio so that we can see kind of the compare and contrast difference between what it looks like when we've got practical lights in the background there versus doing something like this, where we're entirely reliant on reflections on the water and whatever the sun happens to be giving us, which is obviously a gorgeous day out here, but suboptimal for shooting. So that is what I've got on the docket for today. Let's dig into Dehancer and see what it can do with some of this footage. So now looking at it in the studio with the lights, I think that Dehancer provides a very realistic bloom that quite frankly may be able to replace my filter in a lot of cases. So we're back in the studio. I'm going to put Dehancer onto some clips that I get from both the A cam and now the B cam. I'm borrowing my wife's camera, the A7CR, and I've got the 28-75 Tamron on there and I have it at a full 75, getting a good B cam close up. I'm going to test these two and see if I just use the halation in isolation, how does it look around all of these different colored lights? So after trying Dehancer out on footage from the lake as well as here in the studio, I think it's a really great product. For somebody like me that is just a solo YouTuber, I do everything myself, all the shooting, editing, and all that stuff, I think this makes a really solid case for itself to provide a little bit of that film look that we all love. So as my skills improve on the cinematography side, lighting, capturing, telling a story, I think this really gets me a lot closer to the films that I know and love and what I grew up watching. That being said, There are a lot of things in here that I think I probably would never use that are more geared towards actual full film productions, either small scale or large scale, that I just don't think are applicable for what I would want to use them for. But I like having the option. And the core things I think for Dehancer that it does particularly well are the film emulations as well as the bloom inhalation. For me, those are amazing. I also really like the film print portion of this and just the sheer amount of options that you have. I would be remiss if I didn't talk about the film grain. I think the ability to control that as well as the multitude of options that they give you for the film grain and the fact that it's not just doing this as an overlay but actually running the footage through and adding that in as if it was on film makes all the difference. So if you have been thinking about Dehancer and you want to give it a try, I've got an affiliate link down in the doobly-doo. Go ahead and click that, get yourself 10% off, and enjoy Dehancer. I got a few things in the works, and I think the Dehancer is going to become one of the things that I grab the most over in my plugin area. I'm going to do a couple more of these because I think the mobile app deserves a little bit of attention, as well as potentially the Lightroom plugin. We'll see. Anyway, that's it for me. Catch you next time.